Hey, how's it going? This is Hayden Ryan, and this will be my playtesting video for my Workshop 2, which is titled The Lord of the Rings Rack&Ruin. Now for this title screen, I wanted to elicit a ominous feeling, so I had this green light cascade through these bars, and I have this orc character who is from Lord of the Rings. Well, he's not from Lord of the Rings, but he fits the aesthetic. Additionally, I wanted to set the tone of the game, which is dark and foreboding. So obviously I have this skull and this Dutch angle to make the player feel uneasy. And yeah, let's jump right in. So right off the bat, we have this tutorial, or tutorial text. So I for inventory, click to move, right click to attack, pick up, yada yada yada. This is an example of Jacob's Law, which states that users prefer when sites work like other sites they've used. And obviously this control scheme is very reminiscent of games like Warcraft and Diablo, so players who are familiar with those games can jump right in and just play immediately. Walking ahead here,
This place reeks of death.
we have this NPC who gives us some contextual dialogue and text as to why we are here. So he says, "Great, you made it. The Uruk-hai are performing a ritual to return Sauron to his physical form. You must kill the Necromancer and her acolytes for Gondor and Middle-earth." So now we have a goal. We have a macro goal, and giving the player the ability to play with narrative intentionality. So now they can, instead of just playing the game to play the game, they have a goal that is related to the narrative of the larger world of Middle-earth, which is to stop this necromancer who could possibly return Sauron. So let's go ahead. We have an orc here. Right click to attack, kill him. And right here in this room we have some environmental storytelling happening. So we have a large chair and a bunch of smaller chairs. So we can assume that this is the chair of the Necromancer, which is quite large, so the player can infer that the Necromancer will be quite large, so it's a little bit of foreshadowing as well. And we have a bunch of chairs, so it's her acolytes, which we have seen, and they could probably fit in one of these chairs. Moving on ahead, we have this item here, which is glowing. It's supposed to be a potion. It is a potion, but it's a helmet model for now. So cool. We have some tutorialization. We can pick up items. Awesome. Walking up here, this is an extension of the tutorialization. We have this other item. We just picked up one, so we walk up ahead and it's like, oh, there's another item we can pick up, and it's a more desirable item. At that, it's a sword. And this, we can't access this because the door is obviously impassable. So this would be classified as a threshold space in level design, where we cannot gain access to this, but it gives us a micro goal in the grand scheme of the dungeon. So our macro goal is to kill the Necromancer and Acolytes, and our micro goal is to obtain the sword. So now we have two goals. Gonna go this way because this is the only other way to go. We have more orcs. Take him down. Another item. Awesome. We have a helmet. We can equip the helmet. Awesome. It doesn't show up on the character model because I didn't have enough time, but that would have been something I would have done. A little bit more environmental storytelling. So we have these acolytes of the Necromancer. So we have this classic witch's pot, which is associated with necromancy. Blah, blah, blah. They have this fireplace because orcs get cold in the dungeon, so they need that. We have some verticality, so we have these stairs, so it feels like we are getting somewhere. It feels like we're making actual progression with literal latitude. More orcs. We got these skulls on the ground here, foreshadowing some more danger. Kill some more orcs. Awesome. Walk over here, and we have a glowing light. So this would be an example of the endowed progress effect, and um, like subliminally telling the player that this may be a location they want to go. We have two orcs guarding this light, so there's something behind this light, behind them, which is producing light. So we're like, oh, what is that? Go over here, and it's like, oh, it's that sword that we saw from earlier. Our micro goal within the dungeon. Incredible. We got the sword. Equip the sword, we now do more damage. Moving on ahead. Got this big prospect space. It's a bit bigger, so we feel a bit more vulnerable. And we move on ahead, and it's like, oh, it's a boss fight. So kill some orcs. Fight the necromancer. Ba, 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 ba. Boom, we did it. 1,000,000 XP. Incredible. And yeah, we completed both our goals. We completed the micro goal of the sword, and we completed the macro goal of the necromancer. There is no game over screen. There would be a game over screen, but obviously I did not have time. But yeah, that's the game. Thanks for watching.